3, 4.
Make some noise!
Hey everybody, welcome to Making Noise. My name is Todd Johnson. With me as always is Mr. Jay Connor.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing, man?
I am hanging in there.
Man, same. It's been rough.
Yeah.
I went to a gig yesterday.
How'd that go for you?
I'm not gonna say the name of the place.
Okay.
It was a light crowd,
Light crowd.
but I had to drive very far out of town for it, and then I opened up, looked in the back of the car, and I didn't bring my guitars.
What? Did you leave your dick at home too?
Anyway,
You waiting for a better response? Here, I'll give you one. No shit, man.
well, you know what? We're not editing any of that.
We're not gonna edit.
We're not gonna
any of
edit
it?
any of
All
that.
right, you want me to give you another take?
Sure.
What the fuck?
Can we just keep getting reaction videos from you? That's perfect. We're gonna use. I'm gonna edit that into something. That's gonna be something right there.
Did you leave your?
No, say it again because it's not that funny. Please
It's not
keep saying
that funny?
it. No, it's
I thought
not.
it was funny.
Anyway, we had a great guest on. Let's talk about our guest.
That guess was pretty cool.
So today we had Mark Borja on the show. He is a videographer and content creator. He's the owner of Thrive Hub, a service that creates content and digital marketing strategies. He also is a cancer survivor and runs the nonprofit Save a Nut.
Save a
Nut, which advocates for awareness of testicular cancer and conscious mental health initiatives. It was awesome talking to him. This guy also is like a bundle of positive energy.
Absolutely, man.
It's like awesome dude to
Yeah.
be around. So here's our conversation with Mark Borja.
ET phone in at home. Were we going to reach out and touch fingers?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now.
Right now we
Touching
all
right
have
now,
a
yes.
yes.
We just put it closer towards the camera. We're all touching that way. Yes. There you go.
Right there.
Yeah. Yes.
Glowing.
We have found home at the Making Noise podcast.
Yeah,
Todd
man.
Johnson. And remind me your name one more time.
Jay.
Jay. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Jay.
Jay.
It's like Cher. There's no last name.
There's not. There's
Oh
not.
yeah. Is it just a J, like
No,
the letter
it's
J, or is it J A Y? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
all right.
J-A-Y.
It's
Okay.
this. It's not. It's actually not. It's just the symbol of J. The
It's just-
artist formerly known as
As
J.
J.
Artist formerly known as James.
This is true.
You could put like J
Yeah.
A or something like that.
I feel like if I do that, people will call me Ja.
Oh, John. Yeah. Oh
I
no.
mean, it's bad enough because everybody wants to ask you your name whenever you order anything now.
Yeah.
And I'm always like Jay, and they're like Jake.
no.
And I'm like, no, it's J, like the letter Jake.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake. I'm like,
Oh, dude, I had that happen once at Starbucks. They said, you know, what's your order or what's your name? I said Todd, and the girl looked at me and goes, Todd. I
Todd.
was like, Todd. She said, Todd. I was like, yeah, yes. She was like, okay. And then they made the coffee, and then another person reads it off and says, I have a coffee for Tide. I'm like, what? And I look, and she literally wrote down Tide,
Tide.
like the laundry detergent.
Some people's hearing are just really bad. So,
Hey, yeah, maybe she's like, maybe he's got Tide money or something. I don't know, but I don't know where Todd turned. Well, I guess
I
can
feel
see
like
what
our
it is.
studio would be better if he had Tide money.
Oh, it'd be
Sponsored by Tide. Yeah.
Yeah, these cameras would be
It'd be
much
good.
more impressive than the phones. You would know what it would be. You would like come in and probably narrow
Yeah.
down on it. Well, so
Yeah.
so the collective, because I knew you kind of did some stuff with that.
Yeah.
You said that show that you guys did. What is it that you do with the collective?
Oh yeah. So I'm an artist in residence
Okay.
at the collective. So me and two other people actually do the residency there. John Reed, who was formerly with Of Good Nature, and then we have Brandon, who does like a lot of yoga and comedy. So yeah, well, all three of us are in there, just doing some work there, and then having a good time there. So
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
yeah, we do a bunch of cool things from like holding events. I do like the photo and video there and all
Okay.
that. So and then yeah, like whenever any of us host an event, I'll just be there to take pictures and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's nice and all that. So
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
And your photo and video work, that's how I kind of met you. I think I'm trying to
you,
remember exactly where we met. I think we met at the live stream at Canvas.
Oh,
I
at Canvas
believe.
Tattoo. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's where I first
yeah,
met
that's
you.
right. Yeah, I was helping out with our buddy Jake and Byron and all that over there. So,
Yep, you guys
yeah.
were doing the camera work. I was doing some of the sound and the live stream
Yeah.
stuff, and it was just it was so cool because it was such a thrown together thing, and the fact that we all still made it happen that
I know,
day,
it looked great. So
out of nowhere, yeah. So that was awesome. But Jake was talking to you. I was like, man, you gotta meet Mark. You gotta check this guy out. So it was awesome to meet, and you did fantastic work there and all that
appreciate
stuff.
it.
But I didn't.
live stream turned out great. So
Yeah, I didn't know that about the collective. That's so cool.
Yeah, they had started that like 2 years ago. They when I first started building the apartment community there, like I got reached out from a friend, Jessica, who is the sweet soul. She's like a food blogger and like social media guru in Charlotte, and like she had asked me, she's like, hey, I had this opportunity where they're looking for someone to do video and photo for them, and like the trade was you get free rent and all that. So I'm like, oh, okay. I can't say no to this. She told me to like, yes, like she couldn't do it because she already has a house in Noda, and like they were looking for someone to do the content for them. So like before the place even opened up and was still being built, like I was like going around Noda just capturing like the lifestyle of things there and all that. So yeah, and so like all this work that was done beforehand basically paid my way to live there for about now I'm there for 2 years. But yeah, so yeah, been good. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, so and like the video work and stuff that you've been doing, how long have you been doing that?
Since like 2010. So
okay.
Like I was like a sophomore in high school, and then like I was traveling with my parents. We were in Aruba, and like my dad had a camera, so he's just taking pictures of my mom in like all these different places around there. And I'm like, oh, I want to try it. And then, like my dad's like, oh, here you go. So I'm like, yeah. And I tried it. I was taking pictures of like all these different places we were going in Aruba, and like iguanas that were just there by the beach and things like that. So, and yeah, I just loved it. And then I just kept going with it. My dad told me, he's like, hey, I'll get you a camera of your own, and like if you really want to do this, like I'll support you. So like I'll make sure that you get what you need to like succeed and all that. So yeah. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm very thankful for my parents to be willing to just just do what they can to help me out and all that. So
that's super awesome and supportive too. Because I mean that's not always kind of what happens in any sort of like creative endeavor. That's really cool to have that support.
And I appreciate it. And then like because like even my dad like his family is actually like all full of like a line of doctors and all that stuff, and like he knows how hard that is. So he's like thinking like like it's you can do what you want if you really believe in that you can succeed in it. Yeah, like I'll help you out and make sure that you do what you can. So yeah,
that's awesome, man.
It's nice.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, I've been doing it ever since then. So like I think 11 years now. So it's been fun. So
great.
Yeah, like I've stayed around Charlotte doing all this stuff here. Like I've always like wanted to go somewhere else to do it, but like living in Charlotte and like being born and raised in North Carolina, like I found so much opportunity here, like doing stuff like this with you guys and all that. So this is fucking dope.
Yeah, man, it is.
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, so.
Dude, thanks. You were like a bundle of positive energy.
I appreciate it, sir. Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
always try to give up the good vibes. So
yeah, give up. Yeah, I've like I said, met from you from like doing concert kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What are like some of the like concert things that you've done before or working with anything like that?
So outside of just like doing the stuff like the freelance things like with like a bunch of different people around here, is like I work mainly with Beasley Media Group. There's a media company here in Charlotte that runs like Kiss 95.1, Power 98, B101.9, K104.7, and then Country 137. They have like concerts all the time.
Oh, so have you been like down like CCMF and stuff like that, or
not the CCMF, but like all the different big concerts that are here in Charlotte. From, like Gravedigger's Ball.
Yeah.
Let's see now. They had a.
I worked that a little bit.
Really?
I was working with a live event production company that would do a bunch of stuff with Beasley.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So like I was like for the past 3 years I've been doing like the video and photo coverage for them, like working with like we had a big concert 2 years back with the Baby for the Power 98 Winter Block Party.
Right. Okay.
So he was there, like Megan Thee Stallion, and then like we've done concerts with like Backstreet Boys, like Olivia Holt. She's like a former Disney star. Sabrina Carpenter. And then just because through all that stuff, like I've been able to meet like different artists and like from like things like Diplo and like Black Bear and things like that. So it's been pretty cool. So yeah, I love it. So.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So you're getting like all access with the camera.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. So yeah, like all thanks to my friend Lex. She like we met in college and she was doing like she did modeling and I was doing like photography and she saw that I was like doing that stuff. So we like, kind of like collaborated together, and she was already working with Beasley, and so she told me like, oh yeah, like they have this videographer position coming up and like you should totally apply. And like this was like right as I was graduating from college, so like I was studying for my finals and like applying for this job at the same time. So it was pretty cool that I got into it right away. So
nice. Yeah. I mean to make that jump so quick and still be like kind of still be a college kid.
Yeah. That was like my first job right out of college, and I've been there since then. And I'm like, it's nice. It's got insurance. It's good. So, yeah.
I was about to say, wait, I get to do something around concerts all the time and be able to live.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, dude, seriously, some of the work that you do with all that stuff, I always love seeing it or seeing your name kind of attached to stuff. I think you've got like a great eye and can do wonderful stuff. But when we were talking about having you on, you kind of, and looking at some of your stuff, I didn't know how involved with you also run a nonprofit. Yeah. Which was super cool, and kind of looking into that. Could you tell? So, which Save a Nut, is the best name. We know exactly, you know exactly what's going on. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the education and awareness stuff that you do with that, or?
Yeah, so back in October 2017, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and so that was one of the most detrimental, kind of craziest moments in my life. I didn't realize that that even having cancer in your nuts is actually even possible and all. So
how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 3 years ago, so it was about 24. So I was 24 years old. Okay. Yeah, so that happened, and then I got a surgery right away because my dad's I remember the whole story is when it happened the day of. I just felt a weird pain down there, and I looked down and I'm like, this doesn't look good.
Right.
It was much bigger than usual. So
right.
Yeah. So
wow.
I'm I told my dad about it. And he's like, oh yeah, he's a pediatrician. So I'm like, Dad, I really need you to take a look at this. This doesn't look good. So he looked and it's yeah, we need to take you to the hospital and get you checked out. And then not a day or so later, we actually were able to do a surgery and take a look inside, and it was a radical orchiectomy. So they saw that there was a tumor there, so they did remove the tumor. So after that, I was it was crazy because I was that's losing a part of your manhood.
Right. Right.
I literally lost my left testicle because of that, and from there trying to recover. What was the good thing about that was they told me after the surgery the cancer didn't spread anywhere else, because otherwise if it did spread anywhere else it would go to your abdomen, or it'd go to your lungs and even your chest and all that. Wow. So I was able to catch it early enough where it didn't spread anywhere else and all. And then from there I was just trying to recover. It's they told me I had an 85% chance of it coming back. Oh no, 85% chance of me staying away scotch-free. So I did that without any chemo or radiation. So I told him yeah, I'll go with that. I grew up in college and high school C's get degrees kind of thing. So 85%, I'm good with that. So I was able to just keep doing my thing, and then I realized it's I want to figure out a way to help other guys, because that was such a hard time for my life, and I'm
wow, yeah,
I didn't know this is I think was possible. So I reached out to people from the Testicular Cancer Foundation and all the way in Austin, Texas, and they told me, yeah, they don't have anyone in Charlotte doing this. So I was oh, okay. Well, let's I'm the kind of guy who wants to make the best out of any situation. So I'm I want to help other guys realize that this is a thing. So
right.
We started doing events in 2018 to raise awareness and raise funds for the Testicular Cancer Foundation. So henceforth that's because I was trying to think of what could I name it and things like that. What can I label it and all. And I thought it was funny. It's I've heard of save the boobies for breast cancer, but what about save a nut? Wait, where are we saving the nuts here? Where are our boys at? So yeah. So I was okay, yeah, we'll just call it Save a Nut. And then from there we had a couple events. We in the past 2 years we raised over I think $12,000 for our Testicular Cancer Foundation, and now in 2020 we were able to make Save a Nut a full nonprofit to raise awareness for just keep doing our thing in Charlotte.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's been great. So now we got T-shirts, so we got to see you see the nut. Dude, right here.
Yeah.
And then on the back it says Save a Nut. Let me show you. Is that right here? Right here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
You got Captain Save a Nut on the back there with the cape on, I see.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's we're trying to be superheroes, trying to save the nuts and all.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to save all the nuts here in Charlotte. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, and also too the fact that I mean, your story, if your father wasn't a doctor in that moment and knew and was, I mean, to get that so quickly, I mean, that's a rarity of a story too.
It is, yeah.
So
I'm very thankful for that. So.
Maybe an issue to that, yeah. So
yeah, I'm
you doing this with the advocacy and the education. That's fantastic, because that's probably not as common.
Yeah, because guys now reach out to me all the time. I've literally been talking to a guy who's literally in Iran who is dealing with testicular cancer, another guy that's in Mexico, and then one of my friends who I met at the Sundance Film Festival, he's going through it right now, and So they'll ask me questions, and for me, like, since I caught it early, I didn't have to deal with like too much of like the other like conditions and treatment. So like I thankfully because of the Testicular Cancer Foundation, like I was able to like get network with other survivors who have dealt with so much more and understand more of their stories, and like realize that like, oh shit, this is something that is like can really affect a lot of people and like be that much more tough. So like I'm able to like use those like utilize their stories and experiences and connect them with the people who are asking those questions, because like I don't know the stories personally, but like I'm able to like just connect them to people who are just as strong, willing to like help out and like talk to all these other guys who have no idea what's going on with their bodies, and like they need to just know, and like being able to talk to someone who is going through that same thing and understands it is that much more like helpful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because like when you're like going it by yourself, like sometimes your friends or family don't. They may know and like kind of get what you're going through, but like they don't fully understand it because like they're not going through it with you. Like
right.
Well, they're like it's so much more like overwhelming when it's just you like that's feeling it and all that.
Right.
So,
to have that support system for sure. I would
and that's
imagine.
what our goal is. Like we're trying to like create like that support group and network to like connect other guys in Charlotte to other guys who may be going through it too, to like help them out, and like whether it's like small things where it's like support group events or something like that, or even just fundraising events to just like, raise overall awareness and all that. So
wow, yeah.
So
and you said that happened when you were 24?
Yeah.
Is this something that's more common at a younger age?
Yeah. So actually, I realized that when I was looking on like the Testicular Cancer Foundation website, doing my research when I was younger, it was like they said like it's the most common cancer between the ages for males 15 to 34. So
wow.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, man, that I've known for years, who had testicular cancer when he was 18.
Oh wow.
I believe he was probably 17 or 18.
Oh man, how's he doing now? Yeah.
He's my age.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, he never had another problem with it.
That's awesome. So he was able to catch it kind of early on.
Well, that's one of the great.
Setting,
If there's a great thing about testicular cancer, right? It's that if you catch it early,
it only affects down there.
Yeah, it's easy to keep the ongoing problems from happening.
Yeah.
Now that's why it's so great that folks like you bring awareness to it and the prevention and the sort of detecting, right? Because if you don't know it's there, and you don't catch it, it's exactly what you said. All of a sudden, then it's spreading into your abdomen and everywhere else, and then it becomes a problem, right?
Yeah.
But it's just so many guys won't talk about their nuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a pride thing.
Yeah.
And like,
right.
Because like, if you see something that's wrong with it, you're like, I've even talked to some of my other like friends who like they think they have an issue, but they're kind of like just wave it off. Oh, it's fine. It's nothing. But like, you really do just gotta just check and like make sure it's okay before like
to kind of take the stigma away from going and get Because I'm bad about anything with that. I'm very much like I used to make fun of my dad or people around was like, oh, just go to the doctor. Then the second I turned like 26, 27, I'm like, no, I'll just tough it out. Let's drink some Metamucil, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever
Sometimes
it is.
even for me, like I try to think that I can tough it out, but like it's I think just having that conversation, saying it's okay to like be vulnerable in those senses, to like talk about other guys about, wait, hey, something may not be good here. I need to like do something about it, and like just even if it just means going to your primary care doctor just to talk to me. Hey, I feel like I may have something here. Too,
and have y'all been doing like events and stuff as well? You were saying?
Yeah. So like in the past 2 years, we did this event called Paint Your Balls Out, and the whole idea was like to make balls look beautiful. So we'd have like a canvas and like have like a 3 symbol right there, and they just have like anyone to like paint beautiful balls and all that. And so it was like a wine and paint night, and like we've had like we'd sold out tickets at different breweries here from like Lenny Boy and Red Clay, and then now we're like because we're doing all this stuff at the breweries. This year we had a King Canary and Ascon Brewery. They made a beer for us to generate funds, and like profits from that like had been donated to us too. So yeah, so like I think what we're trying to do now is like just do more events, like whether it's just raise overall awareness, selling the t-shirts and things like that. So,
right.
Yeah, it's cool. So
yeah, absolutely. We're like, what's the best way to check that out?
Oh yeah, you could just go into saveanut.org or check us out on Instagram, Save a Nut. And Facebook, it's testicular cancer awareness, and then you'll find it on there. So
sweet. Yeah, I need to know because I want to get one of the shirts.
Yeah, dude, I should have brought some today. I mean, I was in a rush. I was playing Pokemon Go on the way over here, so I was like, hold on, I'm a little late. I know it's just traffic, but I'm like,
on it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, dude, I'll send y'all the link so you guys can check it out. And,
Yeah,
dude,
for sure.
We'd love to have y'all support, and then have you guys come out to the events and all that. So.
Oh, absolutely. We would. I mean, we would probably love to do something together at some point because we're
we can have you guys play like, music at the events. And
for sure.
That.
We'll
So,
totally do
that'll
something.
be dope because like we're trying to like the next event that we want to do is like King Canary is like down to have an event, and they're in Mooresville, but like they're open to having artists play and like rent out the whole entire place and like have us have a band play, have us like raise awareness for the shirts, have a booth and things like that. So
that is absolutely up our alley for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, so,
yeah. No, that's awesome, man. So with I mean all the events and stuff like that, do you normally kind of do bigger things with more filming it and putting stuff out with all that stuff? Like, I guess the reason I'm bringing that up because I was also looking at your Thrive Hub and what you kind of do with that. Is that a little different than some of like the freelance style work that you've done? Because it's a little more like content creator style than just straight videographer stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. This is a new venture. I'm working with my buddy Miguel. It's like a service that's like targeted to like create like digital marketing like and strategies for online content. Like we're making that towards like companies. Just like that's just like another venture. Like we have a studio and at Advent co-working, and like we're just like wanting to like just create like a company that like makes like content for like a different like variety of brands and like startups and things like that. So,
sweet.
Yeah, so like that's a cool thing. It's like just like kind of taking for like the freelance stuff into like like an LLC kind of like format and all that. And so just having some fun with it and like like more like corporate company kind of like
right.
ventures like that, but also at the same time like trying to do some more stuff in the Charlotte area. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So
that's good. Yeah, and getting your money and taxes straight.
Yes,
too, with all that. Yeah, that's all.
It definitely helps. Yeah, like having to be able to expense things and all that. So
yeah. Starting to take pictures of every receipt that happens. It's crazy with that with creatives in any field or something. It's you start doing something and it starts building up to a point, and you really got to start noticing like, oh wait, I really got to be on the ball for that. It's like your first year where you're kind of successful doing something. You're like, wait, how much do I owe? Hold on,
I know. Yeah. We do the 1099 forms and things like that. So
time to start trying to lose money.
Yeah. Because I mean, like I've been doing like the freelance thing for like all my life, and like just I was able to have like my own kind of stuff like Mark Borja Creative as like an LLC, so I can like if I have to do like just like small projects and things like that, like and then stuff with like the collective and things like that, like like file those for like taxes and things like that, and like figure out how to make it more uniform and like more like professional and all that.
For sure.
Yeah, because it's tough learning it all on your own because like there's not really you can find that stuff on YouTube, but there's not
kind of
too many people telling you. So.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny with some of this stuff too, like especially with going to school. Like I imagine like you said when you were in school with like communications or like there's talk about some of that stuff and there's a little bit of business maybe, but there's no one that really just like sits you down and goes, okay, if you're doing this all on your own, this is what because it's definitely tough for me. It took. I'm still figuring a lot of it out, kind of as you go with what you need to do. But I mean, like this and. The thing with any creative, we're doing so many different things
all at once and like there's not really like sometimes you can find like people that can be like those like mentor kind of type of people and I've been lucky to find those, like, whether it's my teachers or other people that have worked in the same field that are like, a little bit older and they have like got a little more experience to tell me like this is how you do it, but like there's never like and then they can go through college and like try to do like a business degree, but I failed at it like a business so I had to switch over to communication because like I couldn't do accounting right, so it's like you gotta like figure out how to do that all on your own but that's why I think it's so great to like collaborate with other creators and like other people who are in that same field to like understand more how it works and all that. So.
Communications is business without math.
Yeah, it is.
Seriously, that's all. That's 100%, man.
Yeah,
and it's funny because they'll put you through career development classes, which are like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yeah. What company do you want? How are you going to market yourself? But the one thing they don't do, especially in today's quote unquote gig economy, right?
Right.
Nobody sits down and says, all right, do you want to be a LLC or a sole proprietor?
Yeah, they don't ask you those
or
questions.
do you want to use your social security number and just, not even have a DBA? Like, how do you want to manage your business?
They don't tell you about how to do taxes. No education really does that.
Right.
So,
hey, you know what? It'd be great if like you were going to have to pay $5,000 in taxes. Just go buy a new camera. And then and deduct that off because now you're losing money. I mean, it's
right.
And this all those little tricks, man. That it's kind of like a rich dad, poor dad scenario. That old book, right? Where some people nobody ever talks about that.
Yeah.
It's like you really gotta like surround yourself with that, and like sometimes it's hard to get out of that, like where you're not in that same like friend group who's like all talk about like the things that like to help be productive and things like that. It's you really got to do it all on your own sometimes and all. And that's what I've been kind of doing like for most of my life, just like figuring out how to make it work, and like there are friends and like family that are down to help out and things like that. But like sometimes you really do just got to get it done yourself and like do your research, go on YouTube, go look it up on Google and find it, and like and it works out as long as you just keep working hard. So I mean, the thing about all this stuff is you can fail, but failing is like a good way to learn how to do things.
Well, that's how you kind of figure it out. It's like the best way if you want to do anything, I feel like, is especially with something like with what you do or any sort of creative thing, is you're gonna mess up. Like some of the best advice I ever heard was some advice about like songwriting, where someone was like, oh, I don't know if like my first songs are probably gonna suck, and someone's like, oh, they're really gonna suck. They're not gonna be good.
Even with like videography, photography, or any other like creative avenue. Like, it's always gonna like be like half-assed and mediocre in the beginning, but then that's how you learn how to like get better and all that. So
what was kind of a moment or a project where you were working on something and you were like, wait, I think I know what I'm doing? Because like I said, like your stuff looks really good and all the work that you do. Like, was there ever a moment where you kind of like where it was like you finally figured out like, wait, I kind of nailed that, I think.
Once I started learning how to like write contracts and like do it formally and like how to like and understand what like how to like price my stuff, like then that's when I knew I'm like, all right, I got this and all that. And like and because I was able to write a contract, like that was like pretty in depth and all that stuff, and that wasn't too like too much like clients that I've worked with, they were like, oh, okay, that sounds good. So they don't push back on anything like that. I'm like, oh, okay, like if it seems like I've got it right, because like I'm trying to think.
That's a good point. It's not when you're doing it; it's when someone pays you more than you expect to be paid.
Yeah, and
I think you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, once I started doing like stuff with like the collective, and then like they actually even were able to outsource me to other apartment communities to like do work with them and all that stuff, because they had a lot of big projects and things like that. And then all of a sudden like they I think the moment they like one of them like told me, it's like you don't have to tell us go into detail of why certain things cost. Just give us a number and we'll see if we can make it. And then when you gave them the number, they said yeah. But all of a sudden, like I felt like to myself like, could I have charged more? Should I have charged more and all that? And like I felt like that was enough. But all at the same time, if it's a company that like is like nationwide and like able to do all these different things, like like they.
Well, that's one thing that I learned a while back. I saw this band manager do something, and he would be like, it's just, we were talking about something, like, yeah, and we got this thing out in Myrtle Beach and everything. So, and I just didn't want to do it. So I charged them double. I was like, why didn't you say you weren't available? He's like, oh no, I just charged them double. Yeah. He's like, because they'll probably say no, but if they say yes,
then you get more money.
Then it's going to get more money. And then, and it makes it a little bit, and just kind of the balancing out of how much do you charge and where it is in this area, and also, one thing for me too, that I've noticed with being in Charlotte, with this as far as pricing out for myself is just going ahead and saying to somebody when they're like, our budget's a little tight, I don't know if we could do this, but we still want music. I'm like, I understand, but it also wouldn't be fair to the 4 or 5 other places nearby that I play to then give you a discount because it's a little tough for you, right? That's not fair to them.
Yeah, and there's a power in saying no and all that. So like saying no for yourself, because like like sometimes it's cool to like do certain things and stuff like that for like less than what you want, but at the same time, like, we all work so hard for what we do. We deserve to be like paid like what we feel like is best for us and all that. So
it's the exposure bucks conversation.
You can't pay rent and exposure.
It's great exposure for you. Just come out here and do this. It's one of the issues that I have with venues who want to, original venues. Well, we're doing you a service by allowing you to come here and play your original songs. No, I'm the person who's doing you a service because I'm showing up to perform, And if y'all run a good venue and constantly have good musicians, then
crowd
people
will
are
be there.
always going to want to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
So-
they know that no matter who is playing,
Right.
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
But if you just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry up there because you're not paying them anything and they suck,
Well, they're going to run everybody off.
and
every
then
time.
people are going to be like,
Exactly,
oh
so-
man, that place don't have good bands.
Yeah, they don't have
Yep.
good music and all
Yeah.
that. And there's
That's-
no reason for them to come back.
Oh, and that's the
Yeah.
worst. And that's the
Yeah.
worst too. If you don't know, like if you're playing somewhere out of town and you don't know what that venue is, and then you like book that gig and you're like, oh, excited and stuff, and then you start getting little hints usually of like if the promo's bad. And you're like, why is the promo bad? Then you just show up to this town,
Yeah.
and there's like, we said we put you on the bill with 2 other local bands that are big, but they're not, and then you can just see and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's what it is. But yeah, it's so weird, like kind of playing the game and the business of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's cool to hear. Like, I mean, I think you've got like a great head on your shoulders about it with
Appreciate it,
everything
yeah.
that you're doing too.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's just experience. I mean, because like I've heard like so many other musicians that I've worked with, like saying like how hard it is for the music industry. It's like you just really just got to go into it and just like learn and all. And then for even from the other side, like video and photo, it's like you just gotta like just go into it, see what works, and then like. And after a while, you learn like, all right, this the amount of work I'm putting into it, that you deserve like that much and all that. So
Right.
like, and I could imagine with like how you guys are doing with the music stuff, like it's such a bet I bet like a different beast where it's like trying to like figure out what venue can like will let you play and just
Right.
because of like how that top tier like venue or
Right.
something like that.
And, then, and so
Yeah.
much of it is perception, right?
Yeah.
Like especially with music and stuff. Like so, it's weird. You want to play at the place that you're just too big to play at. You know what I mean? Like you want to play at the place that, like in my mind, because it's like if you're playing at a place that has 100 capacity, and you can bring 105 people. Well, then you've sold the night out. You know what I mean? It's good. You've done that. If you could bring those same 105 people to 1,000 capacity place, even if it was the same pricing, the same deal, everything, it feels almost like a failure in a way, or then your people are kind of like, oh, well, this is cool. We're here to support the band that we like, but I guess this didn't work out for them so well because it's not packed, and even though it's the same amount of people, and so it's an interesting like perception game because at the end of the day we are entertainers, so we have to keep whatever the event is needs to be fun. It doesn't need to be please do us a solid and come see us live. Like that doesn't sound like fun at all. So it's
you really gotta like just be that damn good and all that. And like I think and like because like I do a lot of stuff with the radios here, so like I hear a lot of times from like the program directors saying like, oh, okay, what's like how they like kind of filter out music to be put on the radio and things like that. They have to hit like a certain amount of numbers. They have to be like that like big on their stuff. And I'm like and I get like asked like from some of my friends at the times like what does it take to get on radio? I'm like, dude, it's a whole other world. I have like I think I have an idea, but it's like really you have like you really have to be like work your way up to that point.
Absolutely.
So,
you have to build traction on your own.
Yeah.
You have to build that traction on your own and get to somewhere on it. It's not just you write a great song and then expect the world to come to it.
Yeah.
You have to take your time to build and grow for it.
It really is like literally connections. Like sometimes an artist can get big because of like they have the right sources that can really push themselves out there with all the different marketing and different platforms. Like you can get big on like YouTube or TikTok, and all of a sudden like everyone knows about you and all that. So it's crazy. And like even as like creators ourselves, like videographer, photographer, it's like like how do you get big like doing just what you do without like going like either completely selling out or completely like
completely
going,
changing what you're doing.
completely changing or losing yourself in the
I think
process.
I just wrote a line where it's like, what is that turn of phrase that sells out my songs but not my pride?
I know,
it's that kind of thing of like, how can I do this and still work, but also not, be a dancing monkey or something for somebody. You know what I mean?
Because like there's the social media and things like that. It's like you want to get yourself known, but also at the same time, like who knows? Like
Right.
I feel like for me, it depends on like who knows who you are and what you do, and like sometimes that like game of like trying to like get as many likes or get as many views on there. It's like it's not the same as like finding people who have that genuine appreciation for your work. And all
and
that.
that's such a tough thing for me.
It
The
is.
social media game, because it's like I didn't. I'm not a musician, so that way I could be on Instagram. And I think it's a good communicative tool.
Yeah.
But it's also like it gets to the point now where there's like anxiety of like, I'm just being this annoying guy who's just posting stuff all the time, or is this okay? Is this not, and then I
do people
overthink it.
actually like my stuff, or are they annoyed of it, or do they just following me to? I'm getting a guess.
Oh, dude, all this Fresca, man. So I have to tell you real quick.
Yeah.
I since you sent the email, one of the things I always want to get the guests, is that whatever, know, especially if you're like, I want, Fresca would be awesome. So I'm in my mind yesterday, I'm like, I'm getting some fucking Fresca.
Yeah.
I
knew at the head times like it's gonna get like all burpy and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. But I went to like a Harris Teeter and they didn't have. So then I was like, I was on a roll, and I went to like 5 different grocery stores.
Oh, really?
Before I found Fresca.
At least you found it, man. This time last year, you couldn't buy Fresca anywhere.
There was an aluminum shortage, so you couldn't have Fresca.
Yeah.
I'm like, during the COVID, like everything that happened, I'm like, why is this happening?
Dude,
It's
the same
like the
thing
end of the
happened to
world
me,
right
man.
now.
It happened to me. I was like searching for Fresca everywhere.
I didn't know that you were such a massive Fresca fan.
Well, it's not that I'm a massive Fresca fan. It's that if I'm drinking a soda at home,
right,
it's usually Fresca or Diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
There's no other thing, but I like Fresca because it's refreshing. And
it's great.
It's got a nice.
Can we get them to sponsor the podcast? Because we're doing a pretty good ad.
I'm
right
trying
now.
to get them to support sponsor Saving Nut too. So
there we go.
Hey man, well, let me know how it works out.
Fresca.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Fresca. Cheers. Yes.
Cheers.
It's so good.
Yes, and tequila. Yes.
The official soft drink of making noise with Todd Johnson.
Exactly. Yes.
But I literally I couldn't find it, and I was just like I had like 2 12-packs, and I was like rationing myself a Fresca like every like
These are the dark times.
I'll have
It
one a
literally
week.
is. Yeah.
I might have 2 this week, and then I was out.
I have 1 can because that I had left over because I knew like there was a Fresca shortage. My mom texted me about it. It's like they had ran out of Fresca and I had 1 can before that shortage actually started. And I still have it because like I'm worried that like the one day that if it does like literally go away, that I still have that 1 can. But then again, it's like it's over a year old now, so I don't know if that Fresca's any good.
It's probably the can's probably a little squishy now, and it's not quite as carbonated. But like last year in September, I hadn't had Fresca in months, and me and my now fiance were going up to where she was from in Glens Falls, New York, and we went to this beverage store and we were looking for. I was there to buy a local beer, and I turned the corner and there was like 5 box cases, like 5 12-packs of Fresca, and I was like,
all of them.
I had that
we're
same feeling
taking
when I
these
saw
all the
them,
way back to North Carolina.
there you
and I
go.
loaded them up. And
Smuggling Fresca.
I'm like walking up to the cashier,
Literally
like
all of them.
Yeah, like all smiley, and the woman's kind of looking at him like, we can't find Fresca in North Carolina. And she's just like, all right, honey, well, let me scan these for you.
That's so great. Yeah, I had that same feeling when I found Fresca. And I remember like they brought it back in the bottled form.
Yes.
And when I tried it, I'm like, it's still great because it's Fresca, and like we put it in the glass, like an ice cold glass of Fresca. It's just so nice. But then like when you have it just in the bottle, it's just not the same as the can.
It's not.
It's not.
It is
Yeah.
I agree, man. I was a little like. I remember pouring that first bottle and drinking, and being like, "Oh man, it's almost there.
It's almost.
But it's not quite.
But the taste of aluminum.
Well, it's,
yeah.
It's not even the aluminum. It's the fact that the seal on the can keeps the pressure in and the freshness longer than the seal on that bottle. And it remembers.
So the drink is the ca and the can is the fresh.
Yes,
where you get the fresh.
Yeah, and
the fresh cut.
Fresh ca.
Man, it reminds me of being a teenager and walking into a station, and my dad told me to get him a Diet Coke in a can.
Yeah.
And I came out with a Diet Coke in a bottle, and he was mad. And
You understand
at that point,
now,
So it's just like a
and I
click.
understand now, like
Right.
30 years later, I get it.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like, why in the hell was he mad at me? Because I got it. This one was cheaper and it was more. Like this is 16, not 12 ounces.
It's not about the quantity; it's the quality.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
It is. Yeah.
That's it. Man, well, dude, thank you so much for being here.
Dude, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm glad we're getting a bond of a Fresca. And
This is great,
absolutely,
yeah.
dude. Absolutely.
Let's
cheers one more time. Yeah,
absolutely, dude.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, man, and we'll
With Todd Johnson.
yeah, I think we're gonna buy a mug, people. I think we're going to stop and go get some more Fresca. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hell yeah.
Thanks, man.
Of course, yeah.
So, man, Man, I love that T-shirt he's wearing.
I know.
I just want to call it like Captain Super Squirrel or something on the back of it. That's the only thing I can think. He's got a little cape. And
oh yeah, well yeah, we're definitely buying some of the shirts. So make sure to check out everything that he's doing and all that stuff, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. See you next week.